just want to be the first to say welcome, Lions. Welcome, Lions, because this is the day that we spend every single week. We take 1 hour of our time to come together. And why do we do that? We do that on 3 simple words: brotherhood, blessings, and breakthroughs. The brotherhood between men. The only time you look down at a man is when you're picking him back up. The blessings from above or within, whatever you believe, just make sure that you believe. And of course, the breakthroughs. It may be something I say today. It may be something another Lion says, but be open, be receptive for those breakthroughs to enhance yourself both personally and professionally. Today's theme was interesting because at the beginning we started messaging people. We were getting some feedback on talking about communication, presenting yourself, and doing this. And of course, when you're on a trajectory, right? Like it's like you start off the week, Monday, and everyone hates Monday. They're like, oh, it's Monday. I got to get this whole week started. And you're on this trajectory. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm just in track. I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then something unforeseen, something out of the blue, something uncontrollable just comes in and just sweeps you right off your feet. And what's so interesting about that is life is going to be like that. Life is going to be like that each and every single day, week, month. Things are going to happen. Deaths are going to happen. Divorces are going to happen. Divides are going to happen. Things are going to happen in your day to day. And as men, it's hard for us because sometimes it's hard to emotionalize that. We don't know how to properly decode it. We don't know how to properly release it because for most of the guys that are on this call, we just weren't brought up in an era that we were allowed or supposed to talk about it, right? We were just supposed to rub some dirt in it, be the man, be in control, be the husband, be the father, do what I need to do to support everybody else. But when is it that someone supports me? When do I get that time to actually understand that I'm feeling something that sucks, that's causing me trauma, that's causing me some sort of internal pain, and I need to actually be able to ultimately release that in a healthy way that's going to allow me now to take the next step. So today I was really, kind of understanding, what's the theme? What can I actually quantify as the theme today? And I really just said, count your blessings, own your vessel, and gain clarity in your vision. If you can do these 3 things, especially when negativity and adversity hits, when situations aren't in your favor, if you still honestly are able to count your blessings, own the vessel that you are, your body, your structure, and gain that clarity on vision, it sets you apart from those that experience negativity and that fail and fall, and those that experience adversities and negativities that are able to channel that energy into momentum, into consistency, into the willingness to persevere among all of the negativities that may be holding you back or may just have affected you in a present time moment. Now, to give you guys a quick little summary of yesterday, because I'm sure some of us have seen the stories or seen my online stuff. JC and I were innocently and very, very great day at work, pushing, grinding, the same thing that we've been doing. Cullen knows, man, he's been in the game with us. Like we're doing some incredible things and helping some incredible people on the professional business side of things. So, finishing off a day, I was like, okay, I'm going to go get my personal care done. So I went and got a pedicure done. And then I was transitioning over to my massage therapy because for a couple of days, something's been bothering me. And a couple of my team knows this. And I'm like, for some reason, something on my hand and my wrist, and it's just feeling off. Something's feeling off. Now, little do you know, it was just pre-planning, pre-programming me to knowing that something bigger was going to come. But I was like, damn, like I got to get this massage. So I booked the massage last night. JC finishes up. He's like, yeah, Jay, don't worry. Before I kick it home, I'll just drop you off to the massage. And I was like, oh, perfect. I don't got to get an Uber. Even better. Let's go. We jump in the car. We start driving. Literally like a block and a half away, by the way, the massage place. We're going. And again, funny enough, a day before that, me and him are in the car and I put on my seatbelt and I was just like, shit, man, I watched this video on Instagram and it's crazy. Like when you don't wear a seatbelt and you get into a high intensity accident, it's bad. Like you need to put your seatbelt on. It doesn't even matter if you're going 10 miles, 20 miles. Like you got to be careful from other drivers hitting you. And we were literally talking about this 2 days ago. Me being the person that I am, just got a little lazy in that consideration there. Jumped in the car with JC. We're driving through an intersection. Some chick runs a red light and T-bones us at like 60 miles an hour. So like we're literally just in a block and a half away. We're driving. We're just going innocently through a transaction. See, the crazy thing for my mentalness is that I still have that picture in my head. Right? Like I was there and I was looking at JC and we were talking and then I just looked to the right and I just saw a fucking pair of headlights literally right there. And at that moment, within a second, boom, airbags are out, everything, fucking my arm, everything. Like it was in that moment. Now, what's so crazy about that moment is it was just one moment. It happened so quickly, so ferociously, just within a split second. But once the second was done, it was done. Like the vehicles were there, everything was there, and we're opening the door, and God bless having JC. Like JC was he went into like not like fight or flight. He went into like he unlocked a new category in his life called service. It wasn't like fight or flight. It was like, how do I be in service? He's like, Jay, are you okay? He like opens the car door. He's like, you won't be able to open up your car. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, perfect. I'm just like, I just want to get the fuck out of the car. I just want to get the fuck out of the car. My door is not opening. It hit my side, like my passenger side. So I literally just like my whole right side of my body is like immobilized right now. And it was crazy because like I just wanted to get out of the car. Once I got out of the car, we're sitting on the curb, obviously ambulance and firefighters are coming in. They're hooking me up to IV. My blood pressure drops. They're like, we got to take you to a hospital. That's where the whole US medical care system comes in. And I don't need to get into that. I don't even know how much they're going to charge for the hospital ride, everything we did. We got CAT scans yesterday. We got x-rays. I was like, wait till they tax us like $20,000-$30,000 for this. But regardless of the money, guys, the point that I'm trying to make out of even sharing the experience is we're all gonna have accidents, right? It wasn't in our control. Some chick ran a red light and hit us. Like there's no control factor. We couldn't have been safe. Well, I could have been safer. I could have wore a seatbelt, and that was kind of my learning lesson from above. But at the end of the day, there was no control in that situation. So the more that we were to sit there and dwell on that and focus on that moment, the more that we're going to lose ourselves mentally. So when JC and I were talking last night, he was just like, yo, Jay, like, what do you do in this kind of scenario now? He's like, I don't know. Because it hit him a little bit later. He's never been in an accident this heavy before. So at the beginning, he went back into just like, I got to keep moving. He did the initial man instinct. See, I've been through enough experience. I went and sat down. I was like, I need to sit on the curb. My adrenaline is fucking high right now. Like I need to make sure that I'm getting myself in a mental clarity space because I knew what the steps were. He went into just like into his mode. But once he was able to release his mode, it started kicking in. So at the hospital, he was asking me, he's like, Jay, like, how do you turn this down? And I was like, well, you know what? Like, let's talk about that. Let's figure that out. When things happen like this, how do we now break this down and give some actual solutions to you lions that also maybe going through experiences like this? It may not be a car accident, right? It may not be a car accident. It may be just something that's happening in your world. And when I say something that's give me 1 second, guys. Something in your world. And when I say something in your world, like you may be on the call and you may be young, wild, and free. No cares. You're good. You're enjoying. You're still in exploration world. That's fine. You may be seasoned. You may be seasoned with experience. You may be going through some years and experience where you've been through some trials and tribulations. My gents know what I'm talking about. King B's like, yep. Colin's like, oh yeah, definitely. Joe's like, you know what? That's exactly what it's at. And these are ups, these are downs, but these are experiences that we've learned from. But it's not like they stop. They don't just because you've gone through this much hardship in your life, you are now, innocent for the rest of your life. You don't get to experience it anymore. They're still going to come, even if you're a seasoned veteran. And some of you might just be a brother that's seeking the truth. Like you're seeking the truth within yourself. Sometimes we ask ourselves, we get into a bad experience and we're like, God, why did you do this to me? God, why did you put me through this? And then on the other side, you're like, nah, it's that motherfucking devil. Devil's coming in. Devil's coming in and trying to catch me. He's trying to catch me off guard because he knows the impact that I'm about to make. I had those thoughts last night too. I was like, ooh, devil's coming in strong. I looked at JC. I was like, yeah, he's trying to take us out now. All forces are trying to take us out now, but we're not going to let that happen because we're going to understand what the momentum is within ourselves and how to keep ourselves mentally in check. Because if we can keep ourselves mentally in check, emotionally in check, nothing can fucking stop you. Nothing can stop you as a man if you are mentally and emotionally in check. The physical side and all that stuff will come in time. It takes time and dedication to build that. But mentally up here is the game that we play here. That's the game we play at Lions Den, because Lions Den is built to be a safe haven for men to come together and actually emotionalize and experience that. A playing field. Call it a arena that you can come into. You can test yourself, you can push yourself, you can get on the call, you can speak up, you can share your truth, you can seek the truth. This is the platform that it was designed to be. So I want to check in with you guys right now. I want to see who's on the call right now. I want to make sure that we got Dan Wolf in the house. I see him coming in, man. He's doing some big things. Just had a great conversation with you. We got Dan in the house, my man Dan Dan B in the house. That was a great connection the other day. Joe's in the house. Sydney, Cullen coming in, man. King B's in the house. This is good, guys. This is good. I like this. I know Jared, you're gonna come in. We're gonna get right to it, and then I'm gonna open up Q&A towards the end here. That way I can just get through some of the thoughts that I had and the way that I just wanted to kind of break this down today. Because again, it just came to me, and I was like, let's just use the word car. Yeah, I always like analogies. I always like different acronyms. I was like, like car. We got into a car accident, right? How can we use the word car and actually carve something out of it? Now, this is something that I want to teach you guys also as a valuable lesson, is that when you're speaking, today's topic was supposed to be about speaking at the beginning of the week and everything. And I'm throwing a little curveball in it because of the experience we had last night. But even when you're speaking out to the world, gentlemen, you're speaking your truth. You got to be able to know how to articulate it, right? It's easy to break things down into 3 pieces. You see, our brains are only conditioned to remember numbers like 3 and 4. That's why phone numbers and area codes are 3s and 4 digits, right? Once you go over the 4th number or the 4th letter in one sequence, it becomes hard for our brains to process. So whenever you're presenting something like today, for example, I thought about it. I was writing this down about an hour ago, and I was like, okay, like the car, we got into a car accident. So how can I take the word car, relate that to also the topic, and give the gents something that they can take away? So I want to give you guys a little bit of a 3-part system that's designed just from my experience that can help you now enhance the way that you deal with an adversity. You're able to actually go out there and share it, and then to take control of it. So when we look at the C, we're looking at changing your thoughts. So for those of you that are writing down notes, the C is changing your thoughts. Now, this is hard to do. A lot of people ask, well, Jay, of course, if you change your thought, you're good to go. Like, how do you actually do that, though? How do you actually do that? Well, the first thing you got to understand with changing your thoughts is that you live and you learn, right? People say, oh, yeah, you win or you lose, right? No, there's no lose. It's win and learn, live and learn. So understanding that everything that happens to you, both good and bad, we barely take ownership for the good because we don't know how to fucking preach ourselves and take care of ourselves as well, right? And then everything that's bad, which is all the learning lessons. So if we can learn how to live and learn, it allows us to actually know that things are happening for me, not to me. If I said to myself last night, it's happening to me, oh, who's out to get me? Oh, there's some negative energy out there. Oh, like, what are we going to do now? How are we going to recover? We need to take days off. I got to figure out. All of this negativity is letting that negative energy win. It's happening for me. It was a learning lesson. First of all, for me, it was, hey, shit, Jay, maybe you should wear a seatbelt since you were preaching the other day about it. Don't talk shit. Like, that's what it was. I was like, oh, shit, I got caught on that one. Maybe I should have worn that seatbelt. Maybe it may have helped. But with God's blessing, we're okay. We didn't break any bones. There was nothing major. We were able to walk out of the hospital. That's a win of its own. That's a learning lesson of its own. And then lastly, controlling it, right? Controlling that thought. The only way you can change it is if you can understand how to control it. And the only way you can control it is being there to really be in the moment, to know how to experience it. Because that leads me to now A, which is articulating the emotions, which is the hardest thing for us men now, is articulating those emotions now, is feeling the pain. See, we suppress our pain very, very quickly as men because it's easy for us. We don't necessarily need it because we have so much, the way that we've been conditioned, it's like, it's not really about my feelings. I'm not going to forefront my feelings over other. I'm not going to be like, hey, wifey, my feelings are more important than your feelings, because I know she's the emotional one. I know she's the sensitive one. So I'm just going to suppress my shit and never actually even really talk about it. So I'm going to just hold it back. But what that's doing is just like a canned pop bottle, right? It's just shaking it up. It's shaking up the insides. And one day that bottle is going to pop. So being able to understand feeling the pain is allowing yourself the time. Give yourself time. Whether you got to physically put a timer on, like I always say, you're feeling a negative emotion, put a timer on for 10 minutes. Feel the fucking emotion. Get angry for 10 minutes. But when it clocks off, ding, 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 that means move on to the next thought because it's not serving you. but you're still allowing yourself to feel that emotion. When you feel that emotion and you actually give yourself the ability to feel it, what happens is you start to release it. Even on a call like this, we've had lots of gents on these calls where they're able to express themselves and share a story and release. I've had calls here, even here personally, where people have been able to just to release something and say it out loud. They're like, damn, I've never been able to even say that out loud. Yeah, it's because you've been suppressing it for so long. You've been holding it back instead of releasing it to the world so that you can fucking take ownership of it, so that you can control it. And that leads me to the R. The R is now redirecting that energy. How do you now redirect that energy? How do you use that for strength and direction? How do you take a negativity like this and say, you know what, I was in a car accident last night, but you think I'm not going to show up for my Lions? I have purpose. I have momentum. I have something that's bigger than even me. Some of you might think of that for family. Colin, you know the little ones. I saw the little 2-year-old baby girl on the call. He brought her on the call, one of our sales calls. And it was just like, it was incredible. It's like, that's the next generation. That's the next generation. What's your purpose? What's your gravitational pull to use for strength and direction now? That's changing your focus. Because as much as we can be in the moment saying, shit, like, why did this happen to me? And oh my God, now how am I going to recover for this? It's like, it doesn't even matter because it's not even for me. It's for those beautiful children. It's for my beautiful future. It's for the life that I deserve to live. Because guys, what we do is we focus so much on what we need. I need this much money so I can pay my bills. But I really want this. If I want this, that would be like really, man, I really desire that. Like that's the lifestyle that I desire. But when the fuck did you ask yourself, what do you deserve? What do you deserve? Stop thinking about the need. Stop thinking about the want. Stop thinking about the desire. And start asking yourself, what do I deserve? Gents, I want to check in with you guys. Today's going to be a little bit, a bit of a shorter episode. As you can tell, do need to get some sleep and get some rest, but I want to open this up for Q&A. It's a bit of a smaller group here as well, too, so feel free to start raising your hands. Before we do that, one thing that we've been doing recently, and maybe I'll get JC to chime in here a little bit and talk a little bit about it, is I want to make sure that, we're giving back as much as we can as well, too. You guys are spending an hour of your time every week jumping on this call and being here. So what we're doing is what we call a breakthrough call. So I want to make sure that every guy on the call, Keyshawn, we got yours. We got to reschedule yours, my man. We got to get you in. So, I messaged Keyshawn this morning. I was like, he's like, holy shit, don't worry about it, Jay. We good, man. We good. We can jump on that call, man. Respect. But these breakthrough calls are all intended for you to grow personally and professionally, right? If you're in a situation in your business right now where you want to be able to scale your business and you want to be able to understand on a professional side, sure, we can talk about that. If it's on a personal side where you just want to be able to chime in and say, look, man, I'm just looking to grow myself personally, these calls are designed to just there to support y'all, to, show you value and give you something in return for showing up for yourselves. Because you're not showing up for me being on this call. I'll tell you that now. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep doing it regardless. I'm going to keep doing it because that's my calling to help brothers and help, accelerate the growth. But you guys are there to do it for yourselves. Like you showing up right here is the commitment that you have, and it shows the personalities that you have to bank on yourself, to continuously grow and find the right information. Because in this world, guys, there's a lot of fucking information. So get the right information, it'll set you free. Get the wrong information, it's going to take a long time to recover. So many more people need in this world. So like it's so appreciative from somebody like myself that's making an impact in my own ways, to see guys like you that are doing it in your ways, but ultimately with the same vision and goal, right? This is what aligns us. This is what aligns us as lions, even on this call, because as I was mentioning, we're kings to our own kingdom. Like, yes, you got a group full of kings on this call right now. We all have our own kingdoms. You guys ain't serving my kingdom. You ain't up, like but we're here as leaders, as men, to come together, and that energy is what we all need. So one moment can change everything. We luckily, with God's blessing, walked away with maybe a scratch or two, sure, but that's it. And just to your point, Keyshawn, that you asked there, like the other person, by the way, it was a lady in the vehicle. Like she was also okay. Right, she had an SUV and she was a little bit bigger, and she just stood there on the side as well too. She knew she fucked up, and she just stood there on the side. She not once walked up to us. I'm sitting on the side dealing with all the paramedics getting IVs put into me, and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to like JC said, I'm like trying to get them away from me. They're like, no, 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 sir, like your blood pressure is really low. Like we gotta get you medical attention. But this lady not once even came up to us and said like, I'm so sorry, or like, hey, are you guys okay? Now I feel kind of in a way in that moment could have been like, yeah, like let's check in on her too. But in that moment, guys, it just takes 1 second. It doesn't really matter. It just takes 1 second, and that could have been the car flipping over. That could have been the car blowing up. That could have been a crashing into another vehicle oncoming. And there's so many other worst case scenarios. So understand that, that always that thing that I learned when I was at that one conference, and I want to just refresh with you guys, is there's 500 people in a conference. My mentor was saying this on stage, right? He was just like, okay, there's 500 people here. If everybody got a little small piece of paper and just write down your worst problem, the worst problem that you're facing in your life right now, just write it down on a piece of paper, fold it up. And now I have this giant box at the front of the room. All you guys are going to come, all 500 of you, you're going to put your worst problem inside the box. We're going to shake it up, and you guys are going to stand single file line. Are you willing to risk your problem to get someone else's? Like, think about that. Ask yourself that. Ooh, my problem don't seem so bad anymore now. Because imagine what you could pick out of that box. Right? So when you have these types of situations, again, always remember we all go through shit. Everyone goes through death, divorce, divide, everything. But the more that you can own those experiences for yourself and know that they're learning lessons, the more that you'll start to channel that energy the right way so that you don't let them hold back the progress that we've made, the progress that we put in day out for to get the results that we're looking for. At the end of the day, you said something that hit home. It's that purpose-driven mindset, right? And it's crazy to hear from you as an older brother that's seen me for so many years. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like I was focused on like, I'm not letting like no accident's going to hold me back from showing up to my Lions, because it's a commitment that you set. And it's like when it becomes outside of yourself, it becomes so much more purposeful. Coming here and being able to just chat with a couple of you guys online tonight, it's more of a blissful feeling to me than being able to post it online, to doing any of that stuff. Although that was fun today because we got some good funny reactions. People just love fucking negative shit online. I don't know what it is. Like they fucking just love negative. You throw like car accidents at them, everyone's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like being able to now own that, right, guys? This is what Adam's teaching, and this is what we all need to understand, right? Is like being able to share your story and being able to own your story like that, and being able to now in this position utilize, again, even the acknowledgement factors, right? The acknowledgement of the things that are happening that are good and those that are bad, but taking those lessons and applying those each and every single day is the core momentum. I got another message here that I wanted to kind of read through as well too. And it's really, really just showing like the power of positive energies. Millions into positive energy equals unconditional love. Lions Den saved my life by helping me step into my power as a blue ray star seed. So when we see that momentum, thank you, Dan, for that. When we see the momentum of what we've created here in Lions Den, guys, it's different, right? I want you guys to utilize this platform. I created this platform not for me. I created this platform for you to be able to express, to be able to articulate, to be able to get your voice and your stories out, because your story is the most powerful thing. Like Cullen and I have been talking about this, just for the last like few months here, about how powerful people's journeys are. That's the real magic, is taking your intellectual property, taking your brain, your experience, and converting that into a, yes, product or service that you can sell for sure, but really being able to quantify and monetize what it takes for your experience to help another human being in the world. If you can get that on point, you can make a lot of money just from your own experience, your own lifestyle. But it's not necessarily about the money that I'm focused on. What it is about the purpose-driven direction for yourself. So when these negativities happen, whether it's car accidents, whether it's, abuse, whether it's relationships, whether it's, like I said, death, divorce, divide, these things are going to creep in at all costs. When you are doing good and you are on your trajectory for fucking success and happiness, yeah, that shit don't fly with people down below. There's going to be forces that try to take you out. There's going to be things that happen. You can call it conspiracy theories. You can call it belief. You can call it gods and angels and devils. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. The point is that it's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna happen. And it's gonna most likely happen a lot. So if we know that these negativities and these adversities are going to kick in, it's just a matter of growing ourselves personally to strengthen that consistency of the muscle inside of our brain called emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is what allows you to start to think clearer and shorten the time window that it takes to overcome that negative adversity that's holding you back regardless. So, gentlemen, lions, I am going to shut this down a little bit early, just a couple minutes early here. I don't see anybody else wants to chime in right now. So I am going to kind of, get down to, a little bit of rest and kind of recovery here, because that is also when a lion sometimes hurts the lion's paw. It's always good to just go back into the cave. My woman's flying out here tomorrow. So, just go back to my lioness queen for the weekend and just kind of get back into my momentum and change up the vibes. But I want y'all to really take away this week on knowing I better fucking own my negative shit. This week, anything negative that fucking happens to you, I don't care if you drop your keys. I don't care if you fucking get angry and send your wife a dumb message or get into an argument. Anything negative that happens this week until we meet next week at 8 p.m. EST next week, I want you to just count them. Count every single fucking negativity and adversity that hits you in your life. And I want you to come with that number next week. Because that number is not the adversities next week. That number is the amount of blessings that you've had throughout the week. And if you frame it like that, it'll be very interesting. But I want you to just keep a tally. Keep a tally. Oh, shit, that happened. Oh, I got that phone. Oh, that client fucked up on me. Oh, shit, this is happening. Oh, this just whatever fucking happens, tally it down. Next week, we're going to take those fucking downfalls and negativities and we're going to convert them into blessings and breakthroughs. Gentlemen, lions, kings, great seeing y'all today. I will see you next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. EST, where we come together for brotherhood, blessings, and breakthroughs. Only at the Lion's Den. Take care, gents. Have a powerful night.